their numbers increase by 1, which has not happened, so they don't do that now. But they can scout, they can fight a group that is not undead, or they can do nothing. Yes, you can just choose to have them do nothing, but I'm going to have them scout because I think we need. So slowly they make their way out into the dungeon. When a monster group scouts, it's essentially expanding its territory, so if you want, you can just move them into the new territory. It also helps you to remember how far they've explored into the dungeon. So now we have an interesting situation. Technically, the purple worms could hunt the skeletons because the rules don't say anything about purple worms not being able to eat undead. Um, Umber Hulk, purple worm, knights, dragon, ogre. But I think we won't do that because this game, invites you to use your own judgment, and it just doesn't feel right for me to have purple worms hunting skeletons. So the Umber Hulk. Yeah, I talked about giving the Umber Hulk an Explorer option, and I realize now that it's actually what he does. He does need a Scout option. And I'm going to add that because this situation makes it clear to me why he should have a Scout option, because there's this treasure lying right there. Like, certainly this Umber Hulk, who I think we are beginning to understand is a bit of an arrogant Umber Hulk with delusions of grandeur, he's going to gather that treasure. The reason I want him to be able to gather treasure is because when an alpha predator gets 6 treasure, they can become the lord of the dungeon and try and conquer the world. And the Umber Hulk should have a path to that outcome, especially after he's just defeated a dragon. Yeah, I agree, Starhelm. These guys, they need enough options to be interesting without making every monster the same, and I think I'm zeroing in on that, I hope. Pretty soon I'll have a copy of this I can give to people so they can test this out too. Actually, I'd really like to do an online game. Maybe I can get a bunch of people and do a turn-based game. We'll just take turns uh, moving to different monster groups. That could be a lot of fun. Okay, so purple worm. This is sort of interesting. The purple worms don't have anything to hunt. I think this one is just going to dig ever deeper down to this magical nexus, searching for food. This guy, I'm just going to have him follow kind of these existing tunnels and move over this way. Maybe he'll interact with the dragon on the dragon's turn. The knights. I think I forgot to have them take a turn last time, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. I'm going to, since the knights are yellow, previously they explored this far, so I'm just going to put I don't know, a marker there. The knights were here. Now they will explore further. They could explore in the direction of the dragon or the Hulk. They fought the dragon before. Discretion is a better part of valor. I think they're going to encounter that Umber Hulk. And they fight him. Most monster groups don't fight alpha predators. They fight each other, but they try and drive alpha predators away. So a monster group that has the ability to fight alpha predators is actually kind of powerful because it means it can kill them. That's kind of a hidden aspect of how this game works. But the knights specifically fight alpha predators, so they have a chance of killing them. The Umber Hulk, however, is rolling at +3. The knights used that in a previous battle, so they no longer have it, so they have no bonus. Green is the Umber Hulk. And the Umber Hulk wins handily, killing another knight, and the remaining one retreats back to his... but I will put a yellow mark down here to show that the knights have explored in this direction previously. The knights do have an interesting rule, which is when they drop down to 1 population, then they can increase, then they recruit new knights. So next turn, if he's still there, he can add a second buddy. The dragon. So he has interacted with other groups, so he does take a turn. He can drive out alpha predators, extort humanoids, or hunt. I don't think he likes that purple worm coming around, so he's just going to try and drive him out. Green will be the dragon. He's rolling at +1 because he has a bonus marker. But he fails. This dragon is unable to take on a purple worm. In his shame, he will dig deeper into the earth. Perhaps this ancient dwarven hall will be more to his liking. I wanted some kind of rule where the dragons get more powerful over time, like D&D dragons, which can be, very young, mature, old, ancient, becoming more powerful as they go. So actually, I'll make a note of that. I'm not sure what the trigger for that should be. Maybe when a dragon sleeps, like if no one messes with it for a turn and it sleeps for an era, it becomes more powerful. I don't know. I'm toying with that one. This poor ogre, still hanging around. He's got nothing to hunt. Can't really eat skeletons. I guess, well, these are tunnels that he explored, so he's connected to where the knights are. So I think he's going to hunt knights, which is going to be tough on them, for the Order of Starhelm has fallen into ruin, its pillars cast down by an ogre attack. Sorry, Starhelm. Yeah, those adventures, they better be careful what they say to that dragon. I think even mentioning purple worms around the dragon is bound to result in a fit of rage. All right, I think I've got time for one more turn here. I think what I should try actually is I should do something I haven't done yet, which is an invasion, which is when a monster group lands directly on top of an existing monster group. Let's draw, and we've got a second wave of goblins. I think when I've got more monster groups, having monster groups be recycled will happen less often, which I think is cool because I like different monster groups, but this is fine. I'm going to bring in some goblins. Do we have any colors that are not being used right now? Orange goblins, just like before. So I'm going to roll randomly for who they invade of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 monster groups on the map. 1, they invade the dragon. So, having heard legends of the cowardly dragon, these goblins rashly march in and decide to lay claim to its hoard and its home. When you have an invasion, the monsters immediately fight in whatever mode they can fight, and we find out who wins. Goblins can't kill dragons, but they can drive them out, so that's what will happen here. So the dragon's rolling at +3. We'll give the dragon the green dice. And it is a tie, which the attacker wins. So the dragon is driven out deeper into the earth by the goblins. We'll lay claim to this whole level here. Actually, and he should have spent one of those when he fought the purple worm and another one when he fought the goblins. So he's actually also out of bonuses now. Oh, and they drove him out. They will take his treasure. Make a line there so it is clear where Goblin territory and Umber Hulk territory divide. Let's build another tunnel here on the shore of this underground river. I'm just going to draw some of that in because it's... Alright, so these goblins have... I'm just going to make these all touching so it's clear. The goblins have 3 treasures. This guy, this Umber Hulk, has 3 treasures. Alright. Dragon, skellies, ogre, umber, purple, knights. The dragon. Well, the goblins took his treasure, so now he must fight them. The dragon rolls a +2. He can have the green die. He wins handily. Goblins are slain. Let's scorch this room with dragon fire. Now he may extort, drive out, or hunt. I think he will extort. Perhaps, O goblins, you should return some of my treasures before I flame more of you to death. The goblins decline. Wow, ballsy goblins. Skeletons. I think they will continue to scout. I don't think that moves them definitively into anyone's territory. So, well, since this is the last turn, I'm going to end this here. I'm actually going to have them. I don't really have an interaction for skeletons and alpha predators, actually. I'm not sure if skeletons would try to drive alpha predators out. I'm just going to leave a question mark on that for now. When I think of undead, I think of them as being very, especially something like skeletons, very, inactive, static, non-moving monsters. But that's not necessarily the best for a game. I think for now I'm going to leave them as they are. Maybe it doesn't hurt to have a monster group that's just kind of a very static thing, like that other monster groups maybe will have to fight to get through. But probably I'll try and make them a little more dynamic later. They do have some interactions, like if there's a vampire, they can recruit other undead groups to their aid. Ogre. Well, he has nothing to hunt, so he has to relocate. But one thing he can do is explore for lost treasures. So I think he will come down here and add this dwarven record book to his treasure. So a lowly ogre, but with a significant hoard. It's possible I have too many alpha predators in the current mix too. I think I need a few more humanoids. I don't have bugbears or gnolls, for example, and they could certainly have a place. Our Umber Hulk, he has nothing to hunt. If he is unable to hunt, he should relocate to better terrain. Actually, I take that back. He is right next to the goblins, so he hunts goblins. Then I think he has nothing else to do. He can scout. He scouts, encountering the skeletons. The purple worms. We will relocate this guy through goblin territory. Finish off the goblins. This guy can travel up here, creating new connections in the dungeon. We no longer have knights. So I think one definitively clear thing from this is that some of these monsters need more interactions, and we need more populous groups for the predators to prey upon, or ways for the predators to prey upon each other or interact with groups without wiping out their population completely. I think that's what I've seen here. Well, thank you so much for playing How to Host a Dungeon with me tonight. This was really cool. I learned a lot. I always like to sit and draw and gab away about Dungeons and Dragons and monsters and tell stories and stuff. So hopefully we'll do this again sometime. And maybe I would like to get this working up on Roll20 so people can actually interact with it. Maybe we can get a group game going at some point. I think that would be really fun too. Thank you, Starhelm, for coming out and doing this. I hope we do it again sometime. All right. Have a good night.